Heyo fellow pretzels, it's me, Info Pretzel. In this video, I decided to try and get first place in every minigame on Wii Party with master difficulty opponents. Well, all except for the pair minigames, since technically we're not competing against anybody there. So, 4-player, 1v3, and 1v1. How long will it take me to beat them all? And of course, this means if we either get second or lower, or on a rare occasion, a 4-way tie, we gotta retry the minigame over and over again until we win. So without any more delays, here we go. Despite there being a total of 41 4-player minigames, I initially was feeling pretty confident that I would get through all of them really quickly, since to begin with, I managed to beat Derby Dash, Shifty Gifts, Chop Chops, and Jumbo Jump all on my first try. But since this is the master difficulty that I'm playing on, I cannot get too comfortable, because in the following minigame, Popgun Posse, I scored my first loss of the challenge. I then failed my second attempt at the minigame, because I accidentally let my can touch the ground, which deducts 2 points from your score. I managed to win on my third attempt, then came Hurdle Hover, which I failed on my first attempt, because of this stupid barrel which I felt convinced I did not touch. My second try resulted in a joint first place, so next was Puzzle Pickup, which I personally think is one of the easiest minigames to win, since the Mii puzzles not only give you 2 points, but they are also really easy to spot in the pile. Matt unfortunately won the first attempt of Lunar Landers, but after one retry, I managed to score first place. So next up was Zombie Tag, which I managed to win after all the CPUs got themselves cornered at the top of the arena. I mean, you guys could have just not walked into this graveyard and you would not have been in this situation. Flag Fracker is one of the quickest minigames out this entire section, considering it only takes 2 seconds to reach the flag after the gun is fired. Smile Snap took me 3 tries to win, and the result ended up being a 3-way tie. Then next up was the first of the few luck-themed minigames in Wii Party, Dicey Descent, which does have some element of strategy, since what I did to win this one was avoid going on the same side Steph here took during the final round, meaning I would either lose the minigame, or it would end with a joint first place, which the latter turned out to be the case. I ended up getting stuck at the end of my first attempt at Ram Jam, resulting in Tyrone scoring the win here. I thankfully didn't get stuck on my second try, so next up was Feathered Frenzy, which I initially struggled with because not only are the gold feathers really annoying to grab, but the AI opponents always manage to grab them with no problems whatsoever. I know this is master difficulty, but don't you think that feels slightly unfair to the player? Feathered Frenzy took me 4 tries to win, and next up was Gold Getters, which only took me 2 tries. Saucer Snap started with a really close result, but not enough for me to score first place on my first try. My second attempt ended up being worse than my first one, and then on my third try, I ended up tying first place with Steph. Then came Quicker Chipper, where for the first and only time throughout this entire challenge, I managed to score a 4-way tie, meaning nobody here is a winner this time. I managed to score first place 3 attempts later, but this felt like one of the few minigames where you could make close to no mistakes on master difficulty, because even missing at least one shot always resulted in me falling behind everyone else. Follow Your Face ended in a 3-way tie, and Maze Days was much easier to get through, since there is essentially no penalty if you decide to rotate your Wii Remote to help you figure out which direction is what. I managed to break the tie at the last second in Chopper Hoppers, and with the next minigame Space Brawl done and dusted, we have surpassed the 30-minute mark in this challenge. Not only did I manage to win stopwatches on my first try, but I also had the lowest target time to aim for on this attempt, which is honestly not that much of a time save, but I'll take every possible time save that I can get. Friendly Face Off was a minigame I was initially concerned about because it's that one minigame where I feel like my performance every time I play it is inconsistent. Sometimes I just finish the puzzle at rapid fire pace, whereas other times I make a wrong placement and lose the minigame entirely. I thankfully managed to win this one on my first try, so next up was Barrel Daredevil. I managed to get a perfect score on my second try, and then the next minigame, Ball Brawl, somehow took me a grand total of 13 attempts and over 5 minutes just to win a single time. The master difficulty AI in this minigame is relentless, to say the least. Tropical Punch took me 4 attempts to win, but thankfully, this is one of the quickest minigames in the entirety of Wii Party, considering there was still 55 seconds left of the timer on my winning attempt. I scored a 2-way tie on the first round of Pearl Plunder, and in Hammerheads, I managed to clutch my way into first place during the last few seconds of the minigame, but Space Race somehow ended up being my most clutch minigame throughout this entire video, because this honestly feels like I did not deserve the win here. But again, I'll take it. I won both Lofty Leap and Face Flip on my first try, but both these minigames required me to wait for everyone else to finish after I took my turn, so that unfortunately adds a couple of extra minutes onto the timer, but I had to do it, otherwise the minigame would not reward me my first place. Spotlight Fight took me 2 tries to win, and I almost managed to get a perfect score in Shut Up Up. Crybabies also took me 2 tries to win, and after 3 attempts in Lucky Launch, I've managed to reach the last page of the 4-player minigames. And after 2 minutes of Back Attack, I finally reached the minigame I was dreading the most throughout this entire challenge. Chin Up Champ. Why was this minigame in particular the one I was the most concerned about? Well, I think my first attempt here speaks for itself. I did not have a reliable method to mash the A and B buttons in rapid succession. What I kept doing was holding the Wii Remote in one hand, and I used my thumb to mash the A button and my index finger to mash the B button. Since this method was clearly not working, no matter how many times I tried, I had to think of another method to mash the buttons, and what I came up with was holding the Wii Remote in between my legs and mashing the A and B buttons with both of my index fingers. And what do you know? This actually turned out to work. And fun fact, this is actually the first time I've ever beaten this minigame on master difficulty. Don't ask how it never occurred to me until now to think of a different strategy to mash the buttons. And as for the last few 4-player minigames that we have left, I managed to win Walk Off and Balloon Buggies both on my first try, and Risky Railway only took me 2 tries to win. So after 1 hour and 5 minutes of playtime, I have managed to win every single 4-player minigame on master difficulty. So next up is the 1v3 minigames, which will no doubt be the shortest section in this entire video because for one, there's only 5 1v3 minigames, and I honestly did not struggle with any of them. I won Splash Bash with 5 seconds to spare. The logs in Lumberwax are still really easy to deal with on master difficulty, and the AI still can't completely cover the target fruit in Flying Fruits. I managed to cheese my opponents in Pose Robix, and for some reason in Hide and Peek, which is the only minigame in this section with some elements of luck thrown in, all 3 of my opponents decided to hide in the exact same spot. So not even 5 minutes later, and I'm already done with the 1v3 minigames, meaning all that's left is 1v1. I got the right answer on Community Count on my 3rd try, but technically I also got it right on my first try too, but so did Matt, meaning I had to do it again because it was a draw. I got my revenge immediately after in Timber Topple, and after 2 rounds of sharp turns and wrecking the customer's pizza, which, couldn't they just have the one that they ordered from Matt? Like, why are we both racing to get our pizzas to this one person? Why couldn't we just both hand our deliveries to him? I stopped Matt from coming back near the end of Shepherd's Scramble, and while Child Changes is another minigame that took me 3 tries to win, just look at how close I came to winning on both of my previous attempts. It took me a while to get a consistent rhythm in Springtime, which still feels weird looking back because I already played a rhythm themed minigame prior to this one. I won the minigame after 9 attempts, then came Pop-Up Bandits, Pop-In Pilots, and Flag Foot Race, which were all beaten on my first try. Roll to the Goal once again took me 3 attempts, and the final minigame, Fruit Focus, was the minigame where I actually felt like I lost focus throughout nearly all of my attempts here. This one took the longest to beat out of all the minigames, adding about 6 more minutes onto the timer, but with that, I've managed to win every single minigame on master difficulty in 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 40 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna put this at the end of the video, but after looking back at the footage, I found out that I missed one minigame in the 4-player section, which is this one, Strategy Steps. I guess whatever time we get here, we'll just add it to the final total. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm gonna start off by being greedy. God damn you, Pierre. Okay, this is way quicker than I was initially expecting. Now I just need a 3 or a 5. And everyone picks those numbers. Pierre! Done. Okay, that only took 1 minute and 4 seconds. So I guess we'll add that to our final total, which makes the final time for this video 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 44 seconds. I wonder how much time I would have saved if I didn't lose, like, at all. Would I have been able to beat all these minigames in just under an hour? Maybe so, maybe not. And also considering a fair few of the minigames I played throughout the duration of this video are completely centered around luck, I highly doubt that I would be able to win every single minigame without a single fail. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, be sure to click the subscribe button so you do not miss out on what's to come. And if you have any challenge ideas you would like to see me attempt in the future, feel free to suggest them in the comments below and I will have a look. And if you want to join the channel's public Discord server, the Pretzel Empire, where we chat, meme around, and just have fun in general, the link is in the description below. Hope to see you there, and until next time fellow pretzels, have a nice day. Bye!